Okay, let's talk more about our knobs. The knobs on our guitar. As you can see, Gold Glory has 2 knobs. We have shed a lot of light. We have talked about the importance of our guitar's volume and tone knobs. We absolutely know that these things are important, but I want to dig deeper. I want to dig deeper in some really cool ideas, some things that I've kind of figured out and messed around with through trial and error of messing around with these knobs. So, as you know, volume knob, tone knob. We got a 0. There's nothing there. We got 10. We got everything in between. Hey, you could be your own fader. You can end your song and go. We don't need a fader, we got a volume knob. So with our volume knob, we understand that there is a plethora of tones with every which way you spin it. If you want to play a riff and you want it to be really quiet, here I am at 4. Nice and quiet. Up at 10. You can associate how much your guitar will sustain and interact through the pickup, through the amp, by that volume knob. Truly, that is your gas pedal. That is the gas pedal. That is how fast you want to go. Let's move on to the tone knob. Now we know that our tone knob takes everything from the highs to the bass to the mids to the lows, everything, and it basically at 10 is open, giving us that full sound. Cool. Now, as we roll that down from 10 all the way to 0, you can hear the tones start to close up. It's as if you're putting your hand over your mouth when you're speaking, right? Check this out. It's like, hey, how you doing? Right? That's the vibe. And it's so cool because, as we talked about, you can get your woman tone. Volume at 10, tone at 0, you have. You can bring it up just a hair and you can just put in a little bit of treble to get more of a round sound. You can be at 10 and you get a nice. Super cool. So using that tone knob, it'll shape everything. Volume is your gas pedal, but your tone knob is kind of what shape is it. So, a few cool little tricks I wanted to show you were, first off, volume swells. Now, you've heard this technique before all over the place. Think about it like this. Some people use a volume pedal which interacts with your foot. There's a rocker that basically, on the pedal, you can put your foot on it, volume off, volume on, off, on, and you can get a really cool sound with that. But if you take the time and invest it into learning the volume on your guitar, you can get the same thing. Take a listen to this. Pretty cool, right? Well, what I'm doing is I'm just simply hammering on from nothing to a note. In this case, I'm taking my ring, hammering on to that 7th fret on our A string, and then I'm slowly bringing up the volume. Adding a little vibrato to that note. It starts to sound cool, especially as your guitar gets louder. It almost sounds like a siren coming in or like a whale call. If you bend that up and do it, it sounds crazy. Then as well, you can fade it in high, fade it out. Use the gas pedal and ride it. You can ride it and do different things. Super cool. Another way that we can use our volume knob as a super expression is we can get kind of Jeff Becky on it. What do I mean by that? You can actually start to use it and take your pinky. This is a really cool technique. You can take your pinky and you can ride that volume from 0 and ride it up like this, right? Now, your pinky is gonna get sore from this, I promise you. If you do it for like 2 minutes, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh. So get ready for that, but what you're doing is you're riding that volume knob from like 0 to 4, right? Just a little bit. It's like, it's off, on, off, on. You wanna be able to feel that click off. What this enables is this sound. Check this out. I'll turn a little more gain on. It's a really cool technique, and it almost sounds like a violin a little bit. Whoa! It's very, very cool. And all that I'm doing is I'm taking that, and as I pick the note, I bring the volume up. And then as I come down, I use only a little bit of space until I know that by the next time I'm ready to hit my next note, my volume's back down. So we have. Whoa. I love to use this technique just a little bit because it takes my tone and it honestly takes my phrasing somewhere else. It's a really cool vibe to add once in a while to a song. So you could take a bend it with your volume off, and then bring it in. Bring it down. Right? It's kind of cool. I really think that's an effective tool. So between hitting the notes on their own, and then also bringing it up, that is a really, really cool way to get vocal and honestly make music using your volume knob. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, using this stuff to make creative and cool parts. So mess around with that volume knob, and that's a really, really cool thing. And now, the other thing I want to show you guys is with the tone knob. I call this the poor man's wah-wah. I call it like the wah hack. So if we have our volume at 10, right? Cool. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to viciously go from 0 to about 7, rolling back and forth on my tone knob, off to on, off to on. It starts to sound like this. Whoa. So when it's off, you can hear, and as I start to open it, and you want to pinpoint that sweet spot where you can really feel it lope in and lope out. And what is happening is it's adding that mid-range in, so it's kind of mimicking the sound of a wah-wah, right? So check this out. So when you don't have a wah-wah and you want to get that sound, you could always do more of something like that. And it's, you could even hit a phrase, you could go. There it is. You got to mess with it a little bit to get it, but mimicking that phrase. Check this out. This is a really cool one. I'm just racing up the neck, playing. It's super cool. So take your tone knob and take your volume knob and really mess around with these techniques, because remember, not everyone is built the same. They all have a little bit of a variance in how much it opens up, how little it closes. So it's very important to get to know your guitar specifically to know what that volume and tone pot, how drastic it will be. So as always, if you have any questions on any of this stuff, feel free to send me a video. I can assess what you're doing. We can troubleshoot your problems. I'll send you a video back, and we will get your little wah tone, right? Your little. We'll get your volume swells. Everything right where it needs to be. Cheers.